Gather around. It's story time. Once upon a time, in the realms of the gods, Odin, Honir, and Loki were out on adventure. Evening quickly drew close, and they began to get hungry. So they sought out a herd of ox. They took but one so that they may fill their bellies. And quickly they fashioned an earthen oven. They prepared the ox and got it into their earthen oven. But no matter how hard they tried, the ox would not cook. Then they heard a voice from above. They look up and see circling a great eagle. And the eagle says to them, "Through magic, your ox will not cook until I say so. I will allow it to cook if you give me my fill first." The deities are frustrated, but they are getting hungry. So they agree to the terms. Quickly, the oxen cooks and reaches a very tasteful flavor. They lay out the oxen to prepare to feast, and the eagle lands and begins to eat. But quickly they realize the eagle is taking not only the majority of the oxen, but the best cuts for itself. Loki becomes furious and with his staff swings to attack the eagle. The eagle grabs the staff with one talon and Loki with the other and takes to flight. Loki, in fear, is begging to be released, but his cries are unanswered. After flying a great distance, and only after the eagle returns to its home, does it land, let go of Loki, and then return to its true form. The eagle transforms into Volander. Volander goes by another name, Thiazi, brother to Egil and Evie. They are the famous sons of Ivaldi, the elven blacksmith. Thiazi peers deep into Loki's eyes, and Loki says, "Release me. I will give you what you want." And after much haggling, they finally agree on the terms. Loki must help Thiazi to capture Eodin, the keeper of the golden apples. Eodin is daughter to Suna and Ivaldi. This makes her all for herself. So why is Thiazi so interested in Eodin? Eodin is the keeper of the golden apples. The golden apples of eternal youth. Who wouldn't want such a prize? Not to mention, she's rather easy on the eyes. Loki is set free and returns to Asgard. He makes his way through until he finds Eodin. He coaxes her and lures her beyond the gates of Asgard, where Thiazi is waiting. Thiazi swoops down in eagle form, snatches up Eodin, and flies off. A great amount of time goes by. And during this time, Thiazi and Eothen, they have a daughter, Skadi. But the gods, they begin to age. Their hair begins to turn white. They begin to wonder what has happened to Eothen and the golden apples. With little effort, they realize what has happened, and they begin to seek out Loki. Loki, what have you done? He explains what happened and that he only kept his word. The gods tell Loki, you must make this right. You must go retrieve Eothen. Loki convinces Frigg to loan to him her cloak, the hawk skin. This allows him to transform into a hawk, where surely he can fly faster than the eagle. He flies to the abode of Volander, and upon arrival he finds Eothen is there alone. Quickly, he transforms her into a nut, clutches her in the talons of his hawk form, and sets back for Asgard. Not long after, Thiazi returns home and realizes his prize is gone. He transforms into the great eagle and sets after to catch Loki. The closer they get to Asgard, the closer Thiazi comes to catching. For the eagle is indeed faster than the hawk. But the gods, they had another plan. And upon the walls of Asgard, they had built a pyre. As soon as Loki had flown over the wall, they lit fire to the pyre. The flames rose and burned the feathers of Thiazi. Thiazi crashes to the ground, and the gods descend upon him and slay him. Even though the gods got back their precious Eothen and their golden apples, it was not long before Skadi learned of her father's death. Skadi, already a great warrior now, master of skiing and snowshoeing, master of archery and hunting. She declares war and seeks vengeance on the Aesir. She gathers her arms and heads for Asgard. The Aesir, they see Skadi coming. They do not want another war. They do not want to slay more children of Lothar's line. The Alfar have great respect from the Aesir, so they decide they're going to try to appease Skadi. They offer her a great many things. None of them sway her. She's furious. Her father has been slain. They try to explain that it was his own actions that led to his outcome. She will not have any of it. Finally, she agrees to 3 things, and she will now wage war against the Aesir. The first, Odin promises to place Thiazi's eyes in the sky as stars, so that they may always look down upon the realms. Second, they must prepare a feast and entertain Skadi, and they must make her laugh. And third, Skadi gets to select among the Asir a suitor. And in marrying this suitor, she gains title as goddess among the Asir. Thiazi's eyes are placed in the sky, and the first requirement is met. As this was taking place, Skadi was brought into Asgard to the great halls, and a feast is prepared. Try as they may, through all of their entertainment and all of their jokery, Skadi will not laugh. Finally, Loki steps up. He ties a rope to a goat and the other end to his genitals. Every time the goat tugs on the rope, Loki squeals out in pain. And as the games play on, the goat takes off at a dead run. When he reaches the end of the rope, it tugs so hard that Loki screams out in pain and falls over into the lap of Skadi herself. At this time, she laughs, and she laughs hard. The second has been met. So they prepare to bed down for the night. For the next day, the big selection process begins. The following morning, all of the eligible men among Asgard line up. But there is one provision. Skadi must select her new mate only by his feet. A great sheet is draped out, and all of the men line up behind the sheet so that only their feet are showing. Skadi walks along. She's hoping to select Balder, for he is the most beautiful among the gods. She finds what she believes to be the most attractive feet. Surely these must be the feet of Balder. The sheet is dropped. Lo and behold, the feet she selected were the feet of Njord, god of the seas himself. Skadi's a little disappointed because Njord, he's not that much to look at. But she's a woman of her word, and she's gaining title as goddess among the Asir. But because Njord is of the Vanir, she is equally accepted among the Vanir as well. This dual godship pleases her greatly. The wedding goes very well, but unfortunately the marriage does not. For you see, Skadi goes to dwell with Njord, but the sound of the ocean and seagulls drive her insane. She longs for her mountains and her peaceful, quiet setting in nature. Njord, wanting to please his wife, agrees to go dwell with her in her abode in the snow-capped mountains. But there, the silence was stifling, and he longed for the water that is his domain. So they agree to part ways. But Skadi maintains her status. This is the story of Thiazi Thiazi's demise and Skadi's rise through it all. I'm very interested to hear what morals and lessons you take from this story. Tell me in the comments.